Hey, thanks for joining me as we take a look at the Zoom ZDM microphone right here in front of you. And I've come to like this microphone somewhat. I bought it a while back and just put it in the drawer with a few other microphones I have in the drawer. But I wanted to just let you hear it, and I did a couple of tests and I normalized the tests. So what you're going to hear is you're going to hear the Zoom ZDM-1. You're going to hear an SM58 that I actually bought a kit to mod it into what looks like a SM7B, and you're going to hear the FDUCE SL40X. So you'll hear samples of those three microphones against each other. I'll run the samples twice, and it'll just be a black screen and you'll be listening to the samples. I want you to especially take a listen to the noise floor. I was kind of surprised that out of these three microphones, the SM58 was the noisiest microphone. Then comes the Zoom ZDM-1. Then comes the FDUCE SL40X. Now, the one thing about the FDUCE is if you do go for the FDUCE, you'll need to do a little bit of EQ. But it is the quietest microphone out of the bunch. So you're listening to the Zoom right now, and it's a podcast-style microphone. I like podcast-style microphones, even if I'm not on camera. I just don't like sitting in front of a handheld microphone that's on a boom arm, even if I'm just doing audio, because I send out a CD every month where I teach, and I just like the look of the podcast microphone, and chances are you do too. And most people on the internet, they're trying to replicate the look of the SM7B. But you know what? A lot of people don't want to spend $400. And, to be quite honest with you, from what I can tell on my YouTube channels, I see that over 50% of the people who listen to me listen on their phone, and most likely they won't be able to tell the difference between a SM7B and a $25 Behringer XM8500. But you know what? We still like to hear them, and we still like to do the best with the audio we can. So I'm sure that's why you're listening to this particular video as I'm sharing. The Zoom ZDM-1 comes in somewhat less than the SM58. Sometimes it's on sale, sometimes it's not on sale. It has a nice sound to it. What I like about it is it's a super cardioid microphone, and I live in an apartment building, and the people around me are super quiet. But you know what? The individual heating and air conditioning units that are in each apartment, especially when they're on air conditioner, they are really noisy. And so when I'm recording in the summertime, I'll use Waves Clarity or Isotope Vea, or when I'm in Final Cut Pro, I might use noise isolation or voice isolation. I can't remember what they call it. But here's the thing is, I want you to listen to the sound of these microphones, and I want you to listen to the noise floor. Chances are, if you do a video and you use any one of these microphones and somebody's watching it on the telephone, they won't hear the noise floor. And usually, if someone talks pretty fast, there's going to be no time in between their words to even hear the noise floor. But I still like to keep the noise floor pretty low. When I edit my audio, I like to keep the noise floor somewhere around -60, maybe -58. I don't want to totally zap it out because that almost sounds artificial. So as I'm talking, you're getting an impression of the Zoom ZDM-1 microphone. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the samples right now. I want you to take a listen to them. Hopefully you have a set of speakers or a pair of headphones you can listen to them, because you're not going to really hear much difference if you're just listening on your phone. I guess if you put the speaker up to your ear, you might hear a little bit of a difference, but it'd probably be best if you're listening to something that is a lot more accurate. So here we go. We're going to go to these samples, and then I'm going to come back and close up. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy these samples. This is a Zoom ZDM, and I'm approximately 4 inches away from the microphone. My name is James Lisi, and you're listening to Microphone Alley. Audio levels will be normalized to minus 0.5 decibels. Now here's a short bit of silence so you can hear the noise floor of this microphone. This is the SM58 Mod podcast shell microphone, and I'm approximately 4 inches away from the microphone. My name is James Lisi, and you're listening to Microphone Alley. Audio levels will be normalized to minus 0.5 decibels. Now here is a short bit of silence so you can hear the noise floor of this microphone. This is the FDUCE SL40X microphone, and I'm approximately 4 inches away from the microphone. My name is James Lisi, and you're listening to Microphone Alley. Audio levels will be normalized to minus 0.5 decibels. Now here's a short bit of silence so you can hear the noise floor of this microphone. Let's listen to these microphones one more time. So here's the same samples replayed. This is a Zoom ZDM, and I'm approximately 4 inches away from the microphone. My name is James Lisi, and you're listening to Microphone Alley. Audio levels will be normalized to minus 0.5 decibels. Now here's a short bit of silence so you can hear the noise floor of this microphone. This is the SM58 Mod podcast shell microphone, and I'm approximately 4 inches away from the microphone. My name is James Lisi, and you're listening to Microphone Alley. Audio levels will be normalized to minus 0.5 decibels. Now here is a short bit of silence so you can hear the noise floor of this microphone. This is the FDUCE SL40X microphone, and I'm approximately 4 inches away from the microphone. My name is James Lisi, and you're listening to Microphone Alley. Audio levels will be normalized to minus 0.5 decibels. Now here's a short bit of silence so you can hear the noise floor of this microphone. Thanks for taking the time to listen to those samples. Hopefully they've been helpful for you. Right now I'm sitting in front of the ZDM-1, and you're listening to the ZDM-1. You know, initially when I bought it, I didn't really like the mount of the ZDM-1, but I've come to like it because of the fact that it's out of the way. You know, I've got a shock mount that I could mount on it, and they actually do make a shock mount that actually threads into the back of the ZDM-1, and it kind of looks like a big spider thing, and I find those things distracting, especially if you're going to put something in front of you and you want to read it, or if you're on camera and you got all this stuff on the side. If you don't need a shock mount, and if your microphone's mounted to a secure place and you're not banging it around, then don't use the shock mount, okay? You know, just use the regular mount that comes with the microphone. But if there's going to be some vibration and stuff like that, then use the shock mount. So as we're talking about the ZDM-1, I did let you listen to 2 other microphones. I'm going to show you them right now. This is right here. It's an SM58, and it's inside a plastic, I guess it's plastic, it's inside a plastic shell, and this screws off just like a SM7B. I'm going to unscrew it for you. And there's the SM58 right there, okay? And I'll put a link to the fellow who actually designed this, and he he actually 3D printed this one, and I purchased it from him. This is a SM7B windscreen, and it fits right on. I mean, he did a really good job. It just snaps right in. Now, I got the plans from him because he offers the plans free, and I went to the library and I printed it out. It didn't fit as well as his did. He probably has a better printer. So it's got the XLR in the back. I've got a little extender here. This is the mount that it comes with, but it's plastic, and if you cross-thread it, you don't want to do that. So this piece is metal, and if I cross-thread this, I just get another extender, and it's just the normal microphone mount. But if you're interested, if you have an SM7B, and you just don't like the look of it, and you don't want to be talking in front of a handheld microphone, then this might be the ticket for you. It's DSLR Shooter. That's the name of his website, dslrshooter.com. His name's Caleb, and he designed that, and he printed it. And I don't know if he's still printing those, but if you have access to a 3D printer, you can get the files for free, and you can print one up for yourself. Now, I'm going to show you the other microphone we demoed. This is the FDUCE, and this one here is available on Amazon. It's got a yoke mount, but again, it's different than the Zoom because this thing's right in your face. Okay, so the Zoom, what I like about it is it's kind of set back. So there's some options here. As I listened to the noise floor, I was kind of surprised that the SM58 was as noisy as it was. Now, those noises that we heard, you can actually gate them out. You can filter them out with a plug-in. You could use like Waves Clarity or voice isolation in Final Cut Pro might take it out. I tried and it didn't take it out on the Zoom, but I was surprised to see that the SM58 was noisier than the Zoom. And I was really surprised to see how quiet the FDUCE was. Now, if you do opt for the FDUCE, you'll probably need a little bit of EQ on that, but there's a lot of people that are impressed with that microphone as cheap as it is. So I've heard people, go back and forth between an SM7B and the FDUCE. And, if you're on a telephone, you probably won't hear the difference between the two. Now, if you're on headphones or speakers, obviously you will. So I want to thank you for taking the time to spend with me as we listen to these different microphones. I am an Amazon affiliate, and I have links in the description for some different things. I've got links in the description for the 3 different microphones. I've got links in the description for the MacBook M4 Air. I'm actually shooting this video with the webcam from the MacBook Air, and I'm also using a 16x16 softbox, very inexpensive softbox. It's not too expensive, and it's bouncing off a wall, and I've got like $300 worth of lights, but meanwhile I'm using this very inexpensive light, and it really works great. Now, I don't know if you heard that, but the heater went on in one of the apartments close by, and I can hear it, so obviously the microphone can hear it. That's one of the things I like about the Zoom is it's a super cardioid, and the other microphones here are cardioids, so the super cardioid has a narrower pattern, so you got to stay in front of it. You can't bounce around, but you know what? It also hears less stuff around you. If you have kids or if you have noise going on around you, it's going to isolate some of that noise. So once again, my name is James Lisi, and you've been watching Microphone Alley. Thanks so much for spending time with me. See you next time.